Whether it be commuting via the bus or being stuck in terrible morning traffic, you likely feel that your commute to school is wasting a lot of your time. So in this video, I'll be sharing what I usually do on my trip to school to be more productive. I've included things for both high energy mornings or low energy afternoons, and feel free to skip around using the timestamps in the description box below. Make sure you hit subscribe, and without further ado, here's my first tip: intentionally blanking out. First of all, what exactly do I mean by intentionally blanking out? Well, it's my way to empty my mind from distracting thoughts by dedicating a chunk of time to just running through exactly what's been on my mind the past few days. This stuff has been constantly screaming for my attention. Maybe it's that one assignment that I've been procrastinating on, or maybe it's writing down some notes for this very YouTube video. I like to also reflect on the past few days. If you don't know where to start, here's a few examples of what I sometimes think about. What is one thing I want to get done today that would make me feel accomplished or happy or satisfied? What do I want to spend more time on? How am I feeling the past few days? Spend this time to also mentally check up on yourself. Sometimes we're so caught up with studying and working that we just forget to take a step back and just check up on ourselves. In relation to intentionally blanking out, my next suggestion is making your commute more productive by journaling. This doesn't need much elaboration. Just journal on an app or stick with the default Notes app on your phone. I usually do this after I intentionally blank out, writing down my thoughts, brain dumping, or listing out what needs to be done that day. The reason why I consider these tasks productive is because to me, productivity is not only getting more done in less time, but also getting the right things done. By blanking out or journaling, I find clarity. I assess what's important, urgent, both, or neither. This relaxes me and prepares me to tackle the day with a clear mind. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed because our minds keep spinning around all the things we need to get done. But by physically spelling it out for ourselves, it makes it much more manageable. Now that my mind is clear, let's focus on getting some more actual work done. And what comes next is mainly for high energy mornings: Anki or Quizlet. Anki is an absolutely great flashcard app that helps you memorize facts using spaced repetition and active recall, both of which are incredibly mentally painful but effective for your memory. However, if you're in high school right now, Anki is a total overkill, and I recommend just sticking with Quizlet, another flashcard app that serves most purposes. Quizlet was what I mainly used back in high school for vocab and history days, and it's a great way to study on car rides since it's easily accessible on your phone and doesn't require Wi-Fi. Now that I'm in med school, I use Anki, and I find it incredibly helpful for helping me keep up with all the information I'm learning in class because of its spaced repetition algorithm. When I'm on the MTR going to school, I'll do my Anki reviews on my phone or sometimes even on my laptop. I also find doing Anki flashcards much more effective than rereading lectures or notes, since flashcards test your memory and force you to actively recall the information. Rereading lectures or notes is a very passive way of studying. Regardless of whether or not you use Anki or Quizlet, or even make your own physical flashcards, doing cards is a great way to be productive during your commute. Now, if you haven't made flashcards because you're behind on lectures, consider actually watching a lecture and taking notes on your commute. Because my medical school has recorded lectures, and more importantly, because I've been severely behind on lectures, I decided to actually watch a histology lecture on my ride to school one day, and it was absolutely amazing how effective I was with taking notes. The key to efficiency is that pausing and starting the lecture again would make the video lag on my phone, which forced me to pay extra close attention to what the professor was saying in order to avoid pausing the video while I was taking notes on my phone. I would have Apple Notes open on my phone, and I just typed away while listening to the lecture, which made things easier. Since I used Safari to listen to the lecture, I could take notes with the audio in the background, and I was actually on my way to school for a tutorial on GI histology that day, which would be reviewing information from the lecture. And I found that having just watched the corresponding lecture on my commute right before the tutorial helped me consolidate the information much better during class. In the past, I would usually watch the lecture on the day it was uploaded, and then I would end up forgetting everything by the time of the tutorial 2 weeks later. So I guess in this case, procrastination worked to my advantage. However, this does require more concentration, and if you want something slightly more passive, I recommend just listening to educational videos. Back in high school, I would actually listen or watch YouTube videos made by organic chemistry tutor during my car ride to school. Khan Academy also works, and the Khan Academy app actually lets you download videos to watch offline, which is more sustainable in the long term. Regardless, just pick a video that's related to what you're learning in class and put on your headphones. If you don't have lecture recordings and you're feeling extra ambitious, take notes while listening to the video. By using the dead space on my commute to school to review chemistry topics or other topics that I was currently learning in class, I found that I could pick up the concepts a lot quicker when I was in class, and this was a great way to reduce the amount of time that I needed to spend afterwards reviewing the concept, because I already walked into class with a general framework of what I was going to be learning that day. Lastly, I want to cover a few things that are not academically related that I'll often do on my commute too. First off is scheduling a call with someone. Back in high school, I would often FaceTime my sister, and now that I'm in med school, I hop on Discord calls with my friends from high school whenever I'm on my commute. Using your time on your commute to catch up with family and friends is a great way to stay connected and definitely more productive than just scrolling through Instagram. If I'm not on a voice call during my commute, you'll likely see me tuning into an audiobook. I've been really getting into audiobooks this past year because it's so convenient to just listen to a book while exercising or commuting in comparison to reading a physical book. It's also a whole new experience. Some narrators just do an absolutely amazing job bringing the book to life. I've been using the app Libby to check out audiobooks from the library, and I absolutely love this app. It's got a wide range of books, and lately I've been listening to Dune by Frank Herbert. By using the Libby app, I can listen at different speeds, set a timer on the book, this is like a sleep timer, and make bookmarks. The best part is that this is all free. Now, Libby isn't sponsoring this video or anything, but I just absolutely love the app for listening audiobooks, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who's interested in listening to audiobooks. However, if audiobooks aren't really your thing, listen to podcasts. There's a podcast out there on almost everything, and I used to be pretty into podcasts before I got into audiobooks. If you don't know where to start, check out Not Overthinking, hosted by Ali Abdal and his brother Taimur. They've talked about topics from productivity and motivation in the past, which I found quite interesting. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video.